All right.
If I heard you correctly, you said when we become aware of objectivity in us and we understand that it's there to help us to evolve, then we have a debt to repay, I think you said, to ourselves and also to the ocean from which we come from. So I was wondering if you could, can you explain a little bit more about that debt?
About the debt. The world around us gives us experience. Without experience, we cannot evolve, we cannot learn. But it depends on our attitude to experience, whether we are trying to just enjoy it or learn something from it. If we try to learn something, then it's a different way of looking at our experiences. They become necessary. And if we merely wish to enjoy them, then it's a repetition, because the desire to enjoy does not die away so easily. And then because the world around has given us the opportunity to have experiences, because without the otherness or without other people or without other objects, we cannot have a laboratory. So if we know that we are here to learn and understand, not that enjoyment cannot be connected with learning, it can be, then we need to be grateful to the world in which we live, because it is giving us a tremendous way of evolving. So you can repay in gratefulness or in material values or whichever way. We have many ways of repaying the debt, but it depends on whether we understand that the world around gives us many opportunities to evolve.
So it's the reciprocity.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
The exchange.
Otherwise, we usually have many grudges against the world, that it's not giving us what we want. So it depends on us whether we understand that it's supposed to give us opportunities to evolve, to learn, and to enjoy also. Enjoy learning. That's what.
Thanks, Mataji.
Yes?
You said yesterday that we in the West have looked in the outer direction as far as we have been able to, and that we haven't found happiness, and we want something more, which I completely agree with. But I'm wondering, is it true that in the East or in India that they looked in the inward direction and also did not find happiness?
Both the directions hide something. And to find the innermost core, either within or without, is very difficult. It means that I must reach a universal level before I understand the reality hidden outside and inside. And in the end, both become one and the same actually. But because it's very difficult, so in the West, the external has changed into comfort, as I said. And in the East, it became a kind of, one talked about the world being unreal, not that it really became unreal. So that also led to many problems in India. There is one word which was given to us, which is very significant. The word is Maya. Maya means basically that it's very difficult to understand, very difficult to transcend, And so people started using the words without really trying to transcend Maya. So both ways, I feel, majority did not take the trouble of trying to reach transcendence with the help of discoveries that were made. Because the majority of the people like us, we do not really wish to leave our personality behind, which is both the case in internal research as well as external research. Because finally, it has to be applied, it has to be experienced. Whatever the truth is or whatever reality is, it has to be experienced, become part of my daily life. And to make that part of my daily life is very, very difficult, as long as I believe that I am more real than anyone else.
Mataji, when they said real,
Pardon?
when they said the world of Maya is unreal, what exactly did they mean? Because it's changing, it's not.
Yeah. So changing is hiding changelessness. We need to see what is it that we are bothered by. Because if we wanted this world of objects and relationships, no one is taking it away from us. So why aren't we happy?
Yeah.
Why is it that we still feel something more is needed? Though we try to flow with the current that's most powerful in the world in which we live, still we feel that personally we have not achieved what we are looking for. So that itself shows, it's a proof that the mind wants something else, something deeper, some reality, some changelessness. You can call it by any name. Or you can call it God, self-realization, God realization, reality, truth. All these words are there. One has to see what exactly my mind understands or relates with. Some people will call it God realization, some people will say it's self-realization, some will say it's happiness. Words don't matter as much as what exactly is it that I think I lack.
So Mataji, are you saying that Maya came out of me, and so then I have the power also to?
Oh yes, I make it because of thinking that I am the center. This is the main problem, that we find it very difficult to believe that I could not be the center of the universe. There are billions. If I am one, then there are billions. And if I want to find out what could be the universal one center, unit center, that also cannot be me. Or if it is, it's hidden. And I need to touch that. So I create my own Maya by covering my desires with all kinds of imaginary, you can say, imaginary expectations which don't get fulfilled, because I don't really wish to understand what it is that I am really looking for. And I won't take it from those who have gone that way and put my complete faith in that. So that's the reason. So either I try to move in that direction myself, or I take it, understand and walk, or have faith and walk. These are the two ways. It isn't as if walking can be done by somebody else, which is perhaps our desire, that somebody should come and walk for me. This is the idea of the Savior, that there should be somebody who will come and take me across. Do I want to go across? That's what we need to ask. Across of what? So, all right, should we start? We can start with the first steps, I think. You can read Swamiji's quotation and then we go. No, introduction is all right.
We use Swamiji's quotation first.
It's on the, which page?
It's on the second leaf of the book. There is but one infinite being in the universe, and that being appears as you and as I. But this appearance of division is after all a delusion. He has not been divided, but only appears to be divided. This apparent division is caused by looking at him through the network of time, space, and causation. When I look at God through the network of time, space, and causation, I see him as the material world. When I look at him from a little higher plane, yet through the same network, I see him as an animal, a little higher as a man, a little higher as a God. But yet he is the one infinite being of the universe, and that being we are. I am that, and you are that. Not parts of it, but the whole of it. It is the eternal knower standing behind the whole phenomena. He himself is the phenomena. He is both the subject and the object. He is the I and the you.
I'd like some clarification about what he says. When I look at God through the network of time, space, and causation, I see him at the material world. And then when I look at him from a little higher plane, through the same network, I see him as an animal, and a little higher as a man. And then it goes on. What are these different levels? And
These levels are basically levels of understanding. We can understand with the help of the five senses, like eyes. I look at the world and the world is there. But in order to understand it, I need to ask questions. And as human beings, we are always asking questions. So the walls themselves cannot give me an answer. This material level does not give me an answer. I need to go deeper, ask questions, and which the West has done. You invent many microscopes and telescopes, just to give you an example, and put a little bit of this material universe on a slide and look at it. And something new seems to appear. So then the mind will say, oh, this is a deeper level. And then you go on magnifying the mirror or the glass, and it keeps on giving you deeper and deeper levels of, what would you call them? Visual images. Till today, they have come to a level where the visual images have disappeared. And still they are trying to find out what could be hiding behind even the idea of invisible energy or whatever. So this is trying to understand what these levels could mean. So time, space and causation, if you take it physically, you can say that once upon a time Newton told us that time is separate, space is separate. Without space and time, without the 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, we cannot understand this physical world. I don't know whether it is, you can make it clearer if you want to. What are the three dimensions? That is up, down, backward, forward, and what is the third one? This way, that way. So these are the three dimensions of space and one dimension of time. They were taken to be absolutely real, absolutely outside. And there was no connection between time and space. Then Einstein, according to Einstein, which is a very difficult idea to understand really, time and space are supposed to be one and the same. I mean, they are connected in such a way that you cannot separate them. So then causation, what is causation? Causes lead to effects in time and space. Whatever is happening or whatever events we look at, they are happening in space, in time. So, but what exactly are they hiding? This time, space and causation at the material level, what are they hiding? So Swamiji is saying God. Now, I can call it reality, I can call it, what else would you like to call it? Truth.
Light, Satchitananda.
Whatever. But I don't know whether scientists would agree to call it God. Today they are not trying to find God, though they are talking about the God particle, but they are not trying to find God, they are just trying to find how far they can go in this analysis. They are trying to find out how far they can go in this material research. But they are not trying to find God, or if they are, we don't know. But it is true that they are trying to ask what is the ultimate substance out of which the universe is made. Once upon a time, we called that substance God. So, has God disappeared? Has reality gone away? Or is it that we want to change the words, names? I can change the name, I can call it reality, is what is hidden. So, what is the secret? But there has to be a secret if it keeps on changing. The visual images keep on changing. That means it is a secret. That much we can understand. So I can call it a secret, I can call it God, I can call it by any words. So that is one way. Then Swamiji says, go a little higher. Now this higher plane, where is it? It's within us. We try to think about these things, question. For instance, when we come to the human mind, we ask, is there something hidden behind the human body also? So that would be a higher level. So we understand that there is the material level and there is the animal kingdom also. It isn't as if the animals themselves are coming to us and saying that they belong to the animal kingdom or that they belong to the living world. It's the mind of man, it's our own intelligence which gives names to the next level. We say these are living creatures or living, it's an animal kingdom or whatever you like to call it. Then it's the same. He says it's the same thing that's appearing as the animal kingdom. Now this is a difficult thing because we feel that that which is hidden in the material world is different and that which is hidden in the animal world has to be different. Today we know that they are trying to do all kinds of research and trying to find out how did life arise. In this material universe, how did life come into being? Is it somehow connected with the material world or not? So this has still not been, as far as I understand, it has still not been completely resolved. How life arises from the material level. Am I making it clear or more difficult to understand? We do not know till today how life has arisen out of the material level. But our own mind is trying to find out there must be some kind of a relationship, some kind of a connection. So Swamiji is saying that it is same God which is appearing as the animal kingdom. Do I make it clear? What Swamiji is saying? Then you rise a little higher. Then we come to the human kingdom. And we say that the human kingdom also is separate. Apparently, from our point of view, human kingdom cannot be really connected with spiders, let us say. We cannot, we don't like it, and we can't really see any connection. And yet, scientists are trying to find out, is there a connection? And the theory of evolution tells you, yes, there is a connection. I can believe in it or I can leave it. Now, Swamiji is saying that when you come to the human kingdom, that also is God appearing as human beings. Just one and the same reality appearing. I don't know how to make it more clear. That it's the same thing that keeps on appearing differently. At the material level, we use outer gadgets like microscopes and telescopes, and as we come nearer to ourselves, we use the same mirror, which is the mirror of attention, concentrated. We have the capacity to reason out things. We have the capacity to ask questions. So when we ask questions, questioning also is a kind of, you can say, microscope, telescope. Concentration. Concentration of the light, that is the light of understanding within us, also starts functioning as microscopes and telescopes and today whatever scopes are there. But we are searching for the same thing, higher and higher levels of human understanding. What we need to understand is the material world does not say, I am material. The animal kingdom doesn't say, I am the animal kingdom. Human beings also do not really bother about these things. But there are thinkers who want to give names to these levels, and these levels are there. What are they hiding? Am I hiding something? We can say, oh no, I am not hiding anything. I am sitting on the surface. So if you are willing to accept other people as if they are just the visible objects, then no problem. But I know that people don't behave like that. They don't want to be considered objects. I myself don't want to be considered an object. So I am hiding something. So what am I hiding? Swamiji says, God. Simple? Not simple?
Simple.
We are all hiding something. Yes?
Mataji, so can we say that it's the word you ask, like you hear a lot about them using the term consciousness, like the scientists now they're trying to explore, well maybe that's the foundation, something they're
maybe that's the foundation is not a question. I know I am a conscious being, so consciousness is definitely there. But then why isn't this consciousness enough? Human consciousness or animal consciousness, nobody's taking it away from me. Why am I not satisfied with the manifestation of this consciousness? These are all conscious human beings, and they are all asking me, why don't you accept us as being the centers of something? So that center I can't see. I can see it only within myself, and I say, oh yes, I feel my center here. Everyone says, I feel my center here. So we are all hiding something.
But do you think using that term in the West, like in the Western research they're doing, like the quantum physicists and that gets us any closer, or?
No, I don't know. I only know that they are searching, and the search has not concluded. Same thing with us also. We are also searching in our own way, though maybe in a very haphazard way, not very clearly, but we are also searching, and we give it various names, but I have to ask myself whether what we are searching for I have found or not. Everyone has to ask that. So there must be something hidden. If the search is there, the secret is there. Isn't it as simple? I can call it God if I wish to. I don't want to call it God. Go ahead, don't call it God. But then the search does not disappear. I am searching. So to accept the idea that we are searching is the first step. And everyone is doing it, so it must be a universal phenomenon.
Page 2. Some basic concepts. The subject and object. One vital problem that was addressed in ancient India was about the subject and the object. I as the experiencer,
Page
that
2,
is,
subject.
Just a second.
For the
Has everyone
introduction.
got it? Pardon?
Introduction.
the page.
Introduction is only about who wrote this book.
Oh, I thought that's page one.
Pravrajika Viveka. There's a
Oh, I see.
controversy
I see.
that maybe Shankaracharya wrote it and maybe somebody else. So I thought it's not necessary. You can read it on your own. That controversy is there in India. Then we come to some basic concepts. Page 2.
Page 2.
Yeah.
The subject and object. One vital problem that was addressed in ancient India was about the subject and the object. I as the experiencer, that is the subject, and my experience of the world of objects. We all know that we experience this universe. We also know that each one of us experiences it in our own unique way. Therefore, my reality is your fiction. If I am the subject in my sphere of experiences, then you and everything and everyone else are objects. In India, the inquiry into the subject and object started very early. The ancient thinkers also understood that the object was a mediated reality, not a direct reality. This reality is mediated through the sense organs, enameled by our past impressions and preconceived notions. If and when we can stop this enameling, only then the experiences show us the underlying truth. Only then can we realize that somehow the individual consciousness within is participating with the consciousness that is also represented by the object.
If you wish to stop,
Would you
Yeah, please.
talk more about enameling,
Yes.
Mataji?
enameling. Simple enameling would be look at this room. Those who have been here for the last how many days, 15 days or whatever, just look within and see what do you feel about it. And those who came, let us say yesterday, and somebody has come very recently, what do you feel about it? Just see within. We feel familiar, that's how we would say, and somebody who's seen it for the very first time would see it differently. The difference is enameling. We enamel every object, every relationship, everything by our own, with our own past impressions. Let us say that this is familiar in some ways, color or the lights or the patterns at the back or these photographs, immediately the mind will say, oh, I know, because I've seen it again and again. So this superimposition, that is the game of our experience, is happening all the time subconsciously. This is called enameling, because without that we can never see anything. We can never experience anything without our own personal enameling. So this enameling changes one person's experience from another one's, and we feel that we are experiencing the same reality, even the physical, material reality, but we don't. It's hiding something. And this hiding is not only from the point of view of the universe, it's from my side also. So to understand how I hide or how I superimpose something on something, either with something familiar which is in my past, either I like it or I dislike it, either it's pleasant or unpleasant, or it is indifferent, but we are always doing that, and that's called enameling. You are living in America, for instance. Take any example, and to you this will be as a matter of course. Then look at that image. How would a person coming from another land, let us say India, who has never seen this, how would that person react? How would you react? According to your own past, I'll react according to my own past. So that is enameling. It does not make any difference whether it is good, bad, indifferent, but enameling happens all the time. So that means I am participating, I am adding, I am subtracting, multiplying. So all that needs to be taken into consideration when I am asking, is it real? And also, why doesn't it give me the same thing as it gives to another person? Let us bring some practicing Catholic here. Real practicing Catholic. Real faith. A person of real Christian faith. What would they feel about that image? See? This is what is called enameling. Our own past, our culture, our education, our likes, dislikes, all these are always happening all the time subconsciously. So then to say this is absolute reality does not function.
I am the thinking subject, and I alone can inquire. I am the seer, and therefore have to be more real than the seen.
Can you understand that? That because I am the experiencer, I am definitely greater than my experience. Experience is limited. I am not so limited. I am more real to myself. My experience can never be as real. These are, I don't know whether you want to go deeper into these ideas or not. Yeah?
Is that because we are conscious? We have consciousness in us, and then objects out there, we
are enameling them all the time.
Right.
And they are limited. They cannot be, because my attention is shifting all the time. So my experience is always less than I am. But slowly and slowly, as it happens, as we move in human life, we pay more attention to what we are experiencing, and they take a greater significance than I myself. This is the basic idea of this psychology, that as we move and experiences become more important to us than I. in comparison. So it's like I keep on regressing into some kind of a hole, or whatever you like to call it. I become a shadow. That's another way of understanding. And what I am looking at becomes more and more important. And because what I am looking at is always an object, it never reflects the same kind of consciousness. The material level I know does not reflect consciousness, and even the human level becomes more and more of a problem because I cannot penetrate. So this is the basic obstacle to my experiences, which do not seem to give me what I am looking for. What we experience is our psychological time. Everyone has a different sense of time, different sense of space. So what we can understand is that we are always superimposing our ideas,
Right.
our likes and dislikes on our experiences.
Do we have to become aware of our enameling in order to
Oh
be
yes,
free?
that's the idea. Yeah.
And how do we do that? What's the methods?
What's the method? First of all, to be aware that we are doing it, and not to expect this enameling to give me absolute reality. It cannot. I gave you the example. Supposing you look at that image, I look at it, you look at it, or a person with tremendous faith looks at it. All three experiences will be different, though we think we are looking at the same image. So why is it different? Because each one is superimposing something. So that superimposition, then we can't fight about it. See, what we need to understand is that we start fighting that my vision is the absolute vision and yours is not. So that causes problems at the individual level as well as at the national, racial, tribal. I mean, you can take it as far as possible, and that is the problem. That we think my experience is giving me the truth. And to take it with a pinch of salt is very difficult to keep on asking, am I experiencing reality or something that I want to experience? If I want to experience something, then naturally I am adding something. Then to be dissatisfied with it is not the answer. I need to ask, why is it that it seems the way it seems? So one is inquiry. Another, a direct method was given in every religion, that you try and concentrate your mind, concentrate your attention, and the more you put energy in your own concentrated thinking or concentrated understanding, the less you will be superimposing. That's the method.
Would you say something about how, as you said, the subject is more strong than the object? Would you talk about how that's even the truth in the case when one is sitting simply observing something like breath? But even there, you have subject stronger than what the mind is attempting to.
Yes, it's so apparent. I am doing it. So definitely I am stronger than the breathing. If I am the conscious principle, I am doing something or thinking of something, I am definitely greater than my thoughts, my action, my emotion, because I am on the other side. It's like supposing I look at this cup. I am definitely better or greater or more in control than the object itself. And this control can go on increasing. It can become stronger and stronger. It's a question of realizing that I am the one who's paying attention. It's my light. Whether that light is going on breathing or whether the light is going on physical objects or relationships, it's always my light. So to understand that I am stronger in the sense that I am giving the light, like a bulb, let us say. The bulb is shining and therefore the objects are visible. So isn't the source of light greater or more important than the illuminated objects?
And then could you say something in relationship to the report from some people, perhaps a high master somewhere, saying, oh, now I don't feel object, my breath, I don't feel me, it all dissolved. So what do we say about a report like that from somebody? Is that again just pretending just to, well, no, you're still hiding the mystery? Or they say, I merge with the mystery?
That's something that nobody can really solve. It depends on what kind of a person is giving you that report. There are ways of finding out whether the person is a hypocrite or whether the person is really realized. That's something that we can't really know. There are reports, there are people who say that they don't see this universe, they see God. Take the extreme example. They see God in this universe, I don't. So, can I solve this kind of a puzzle just by thinking or asking or trying to see whether I can have the same experience or not? If the person says you can't have it, I have it, then definitely it's not to be taken seriously. But if he says here is the method, try it, you will also come to the same experience, then it's a question of practicing and finding out. Not clear?
Yes, and then there seems to be a propensity for certain things, just as simple as, seems to me like Ramakrishna knowing about Vivekananda, or just the propensity or the culturing of, or the influence of, for one's progression in contenting this hidden mystery.
I don't get it.
We all are attending and
You're
learning.
trying to
and
say that
evolving,
the desire to...
But there's lots of influences around us.
Yeah, of course.
To affect our level of enameling or not.
Oh,
or,
yes, yes, true. So that is why I have to give more importance to the subject, the experiencer, than the experience. I have to take all experiences, whether my own or other people's, with a pinch of salt. I cannot be influenced by each and every current that is flowing in the world. It's not possible. I'll be divided into bits. So I need to decide, I need to choose, and I definitely need to have my doubts cleared. So that's my right. I need to do it. Of course, there are all kinds of influences all around, all kinds of currents which are more or less strong. So what is my position? My position is my right to question, doubt, ask, get clarification, practice, so that I become more and more the controller. That's the whole idea.
Mataji, would you say
Yes.
that when I read this the first time, I thought of the object as being external to myself, and in one sense it is external to the I, but on the another sense, this mind-body complex is also an object.
Yes.
And so it's important to realize that we're not talking about that when we say I, that it's not this little me with the ego that has a name and a form, it's something beyond that.
No, what I need to, you see, to get to the ultimate I is very difficult.
Yeah.
But then can I wait for that?
No.
I can divide my mind into two. One becomes the observer, another side is the observed, and slowly move inwards. So I start with the common idea of I.
Mind-body complex. Being
Yeah,
a
and
unit.
change the language for the relationship, which is already there. I don't say all the time I am the body, I say my body. So that means the relationship is there, my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, my likes, my dislikes. So the relationship of the two is already there. I just need to become conscious of it. That the relationship is already there subconsciously. I need to move away from the body-mind complex, my emotions, and look at them as if I were looking at any other object with that kind of attitude. So it is the attitude that matters. The relationship is already there. The relationship is not one of identity.
So it's not a matter of divorcing that, but working
No,
through
no,
it.
no,
is
no.
what
It's
you're
a
saying.
matter of
Yeah.
understanding that this relationship of separation is already there, but I need to recognize it, that I myself say my body, my face. So that means these are two things. So then if I push this watching eye or the witnessing eye or the observing eye uh, through this relationship of separation, I will move towards the universal or the deeper level of consciousness.
The ordinary mind is inclined to believe that the object is more real than the I, the subject. Thus, there seems no need to inquire about the self. The depth that is supposed to be within oneself never really fascinates us. In India, from very ancient times, inquiry has been directed inwards, and our seers have found great depth within the human system or beyond the human system, which is available to our concentrated and purified consciousness. The ordinary level of consciousness is mixed with false notions about ourselves as well as the objective reality. That is why the idea of tapasya, which includes concentration and purification, came to be. Sri Shankaracharya starts here with the human system, stating that this is also an object of our experience, as it is the sensations which we receive through the nervous system that make us aware of the physical and mental complex that we identify with. When we are convinced about this truth, then we ask ourselves, how real is this world and how real am I? In Pravrajika Vivekaparana, Sri Shankaracharya also shows that I, as the experiencer, am already free. But the eternal question is, do I want to assert that freedom? It is up to me. This is the basis of Advaita Vedanta. The inward and outward movement. The human mind has two directions in which it can function. The outward spiraling is pravritti and the inward movement is called nivritti. The more we are in the nivritti mode, the more united we are. The more we move in pravritti, the more divided we become. As we discussed earlier, externalization, pravritti, is the very nature of how the body and mind function. And the multiplicity of thoughts and emotions keeps us divided. If we take this apparent pravritti seriously, we feel completely divided. This causes the shifting of the mind, which leads us to restlessness and anxieties. However, we need both these movements to live our daily life. Normally, we move in a very tight circle, focused only on me and my relationships. This outward spiraling makes us self-centered and gives absolute reality to objects and relationships because we pay full attention to them. The inward movement then becomes unreal and so we ignore it. The power of reflecting on our experiences gives us a method of moving inwards. That is the beginning of nivritti.
Would you like to read it yourself and then ask? Because if you don't, mere reading doesn't help. The spiraling outside is called pravritti in Sanskrit. Spiraling inside is called nivritti. And it is this outward spiraling which has become like an addiction, I would say, to most of us, which brings about the imbalance that we give less and less importance to the I which is experiencing, more and more importance to what is experienced.
So Mother, that I really wants to be acknowledged, and that
So that is why they spiral outside.
well, that's why I spiral outside, because
Exactly.
the I wants to be acknowledged.
Oh yes.
But if the I within me wants, because that's how it sees myself. I see myself reflected. That's why
Yeah.
I get pulled more and more.
Yes. Because I believe that alone is reality. Outside is real. Inside I am empty. Usually our idea about ourselves is very, very vague. We don't pay that kind of full attention to the inside person who is observing. We pay all attention to what is being observed.
And by doing that, we're giving away our power.
Of course,
Yeah.
that's the idea.
Not in a bad sense. I mean, the power, that power is not a bad power, it's a good power. I mean, or it's not a good or bad.
There's no question of
I
good
know,
or bad.
it's the energy, let's call it, yeah.
It's a question of giving energy to, or the flow of energy is externalized, and therefore without acknowledging that I am the source of energy, it becomes more and more of, you can say, imbalance, because energy flows towards objects. So they absorb that energy, and they can't reflect back the same kind of thing to me.
And so I get
They
depleted.
don't. I have expectations. When I talk to another person, I want full attention. But they may give it, they may not give it.
Right.
See? So this outward movement leads to tremendous expectations. And those expectations are never fulfilled. Therefore, the problem of being acknowledged by the world around is never satisfied. Nobody can. It's not only a problem of whether the world can give me that kind of acknowledgement or not. And usually we want it from people. Can they give it? If everyone is fighting the same problem,
Unfortunately.
do they have anything extra to give me?
No, probably not. They're depleted too.
So that's what we need to understand. Yes?
It seems to me that the science of Western psychology pretends to help us spiral in. When it looks to me, in fact, it may assist that process, but for the most part, it keeps us spiraling out with all its labels of, and still desiring more of a spiraling out. Can you comment on that?
Actually, I do not know much about Western psychology. The nearest that I have come to Western psychology is through Carl Jung, and he is quite aware of the subtle functioning of the inner person, and he does give ways and means of understanding what we are trying to do, but what you are referring to, I do not know what kind of psychology that is today, because it keeps on changing. It was behaviorism once upon a time. Now what it is, I do not know. What kind of psychology is given as science today to the Western mind, I don't know.
Well, I do understand Carl Jung and the comments you made, that seemed appropriate. Some, for example, a lot of psychology comes
forth announcing that it wants to help you understand your motives of stealing something, your fear around spiders, your
That's
manipulating your mother. And so it
I
seems like
call
all
that-
goes spiraling out still.
I
instead
call
of in.
that pathological psychology.
But I'm saying pathological because it keeps us spiraling out,
Yeah,
not in.
Yeah.
But it pretends.
Pretend, well, you can say it's a very new science in the West, and therefore it has to have a lot of experimentation before it can discover that there are deeper depths within the human system. As I told you, Carl Jung comes the nearest to that, but he also does not accept the idea of the Atman, the universal self. Until you come to that idea that there is a universal self in this, hidden within as well as outside, you can't really solve any problem. Individual self cannot solve problems.
But isn't psychology basically a process of reflecting on our experiences, and that's just what we read? Or are we talking about different things?
Well, it's supposed to be. Well, I say maybe it
I mean, if you're
assists.
reflecting on why you murdered somebody, it seems to me that's your experience that you're reflecting on.
Well, it seems to me it does follow, it can assist in the process we're talking about, but it, like she says, it misses.
Well,
The
it gives
point.
over authority, and, I mean, there's lots of things wrong with it, but I don't think that it's,
Maybe it just doesn't connect it back. You know, I mean, I think that's the missing link in the Western psychology. Is that what it is?
What you, no, don't ask me because I don't study Western psychology. It's up to you people to tell me what is Western psychology. What do you understand of it? Do you study it?
I haven't seen it referred to Atman, so then if people make comments about Western psychology and say it's not spirituality or it's not this inquiry that we have here, which we could label in spiritual, and that's often why I see that it's kind of it's still a spiraling out, and because it doesn't really address Atman, as you said.
But Mataji,
Yes?
In Western psychology, I'm thinking about, really has changed a lot since Jung. And I'm thinking about a particular method called dialectical behavior therapy, which is based on, it's a Buddhist, based on the Buddhist tradition, but taken on by Westerners, where they're helping people to watch their mind and to see the patterns that come from their mind so that they can move into a clearer perception of,
Yeah, that's a method.
yeah, and also accepting certain assumptions like this world is made of change, that the world is constantly changing, that's another assumption. But
Would you call it assumption?
yeah, as she calls it,
It's an experience.
yeah, an experience.
Yeah,
that-
universal.
yes, right, and so there, I think that there's a whole level of, or movement of psychology called transcendent psychology that's coming more from the Eastern, point of view, so things have changed.
transpersonal.
Yeah, it has
All the mindfulness.
with the mindfulness traditions. So these all have come up in the last 20, 30 years, because before that, the behaviorism was just based on all human behavior is either you're trying to get something or avoid something. That was the basic thing. And then they did a lot of
So
experimentation.
what you are telling me about this is normal psychology, or would you call it clinical or sort of therapeutic?
Yes.
It's therapeutic.
Mhm.
But then our psychology is not therapeutic in that sense.
Yes, no, it isn't.
There are many methods based on this psychology, but this is going to the core of how the human system functions. So out of that you can have therapy of any kind. which is Buddhism, I know that. Buddhism is based on therapeutic psychology. Though they do accept the normal idea of how the human beings function, but this that I am trying to explain goes deeper than that, that I believe I am a normal human being, and I try to look at what is happening to me. I am definitely looking for a therapy, which we need to understand, that if I am not satisfied with my life, then I am looking for a therapy. And if I come to these books in search of therapy without understanding the principle behind it, I will not find it so easy. That's why I said, can you bring the beginner's mind to this study? It's a study dependent on whether I wish to look at my own mind as an instrument and try to understand how it functions. Yes?
Mataji, getting back to the reading, I have a little bit of clarification. I think I have a basic idea of nivritti and pravritti, but when you get to top of page 5 and talking about focusing on me and my relationships, can you talk about the difference between that and reflecting on our experiences? Because if I'm focused on me and my relationships, aren't I also reflecting on those experiences and maybe trying to be more of a witness?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that is the whole idea. That I understand this is what I am doing automatically, and then to get out of that automatic functioning, I need to understand the way it is happening and why it is happening, and then to change my attitude towards the functioning of my own mind. Because we can become identified with the instrument, because it's a very inner instrument, it's very near to my presence, or you can say to my light, and I have identified with it all the time. We are all identifying with our own mind. So to move away from that, first of all, I need to become aware that it is a relationship of subject and object. The very fact that I am aware of a thought shows that it is my object. The very fact that I can look at my emotion shows it is away from me. So this relationship has to be acknowledged, that something is happening in front of me like a cup. It's there. So the emotion is also there. Instead of identifying with it, I can ask various questions. What does it mean? Why is it there? And where is it rising from? Then the separation will become more and more clear, and I will be able to control it to some extent. This is the whole idea. That also is therapy. It isn't as if this study doesn't give you therapy. It does. But this therapy is based on understanding, and there are many therapies which do not ask you to understand and just practice.
The center of light and its bifurcation. The ancient thinkers give us the basic idea that each one of us is a center, a point of immovable, steady light. Because of identification with the body-mind complex and its experiences, we seem to leave our center as we project, imagine, and make erroneous assumptions. Past impressions in our subconscious and the present sensation give us our experiences. To begin with, or in our intrinsic nature, each one of us is a center, completely uninvolved and completely steady. Then there is a spiraling out and imagination takes over. All experiences are projections of the bifurcated central light.
Now, this idea that I am completely uninvolved is the most basic idea in Hindu psychology. Atman is never involved, and it's the most difficult concept to accept, that I am not involved in my experiences. We take it for granted, we are always involved. Now, how do we solve that kind of a problem? We can solve it only by understanding that since it is happening to everyone, it must be a universal something. It's not peculiar to me. Please try and see whether it makes any sense or not. Something that is happening universally, like air, let us say. Air is universal, or wind, or what else is there? Something that is not really peculiar to me, something that is not unique to me, is something that I can look at as away from me, happening not necessarily because of my presence. I know it's tough. How should I make it simpler? Yes?
Give an example.
Can you talk a little more about bifurcated central light, why you say it that way? All experiences are projections of bifurcated central light.
Yeah, because we have many centers. Number one, in the nervous system, the light is a little bit to the vision, center of vision, a little bit to the center of sound, a little bit to the center. There are centers in the nervous system, so the light is bifurcated all the time. I am listening, seeing at the same time. So that means I am paying attention a little bit to what I am listening to, a little bit to what I am looking at, little bit to the sensations that are happening within my body. No? So that's bifurcation.
And so I find it interesting you use the word light instead of
I am
the
light,
word.
Nothing else.
Yeah, that's
Light
a
of
great
attention.
It's a confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what I was trying to explain was, where does this idea come from that I am not involved? I like to be involved, all right? We all like to be involved. If it is pleasant, I don't mind it. If it is unpleasant, I would like to be uninvolved. You understand the meaning, significance of the word involved and uninvolved? If it is nice experience, I would like to own it, possess it, repeat it, and remember it. So that is involvement. Keep a memory alive. But if it is unpleasant, I would like to get rid of it. Now both these pleasant, unpleasant experiences are happening.
But they're
If I am
unique,
conscious of
to
them.
me though, Mataji, right?
Let us see this. This cup is there. It can be a pleasant experience, it can be an unpleasant experience. But it is there, out there. I am not involved. Unless I say my cup. I am not involved. So I needn't react.
Shift in the center.
Pardon?
Shift in the center.
I don't get
In
it.
myself. Shift. Not being me.
No. First try and understand at the material level. I am not, which our idea is, I am not involved in all this, am I? I am using it, but in no deeper way am I involved. So, from the highest point of view, in this psychology, I am merely a light, I am not involved.
Part of the confusion arises, I think it's like when you say, who is the I? And when you say I, you're talking about capital I as our essential true nature.
No, not necessarily. The point of light which I know I am. I am the one who understands. I am the one who sees. I am the one who notices. So what is that I? Take it as the individual I. Don't take it as the universal. Even that I is uninvolved.
Oh, is that the same eye that experiences the cup?
Yes, to some extent, yes. Because without the light, there can be no experience.
But then there is involvement, because the mind is involved in seeing the
All
cup.
right, let me give you an example then. What about a beam of light full of dust? Is the light involved in the dust?
No. Well.
Same way,
No, I don't.
awareness is not involved in the content of awareness.
So who is?
Huh?
So who is?
Who is?
Who's involved?
The universal. the mother.
There's the experience of involvement. I mean,
That depends on identity. You want to be involved, nobody can stop it.
okay, but you're trying to help us see that that's not the I. That's feeling
Exactly.
that involvement. That is
Exactly.
something passing through the light of the I.
Yeah.
So Mataji, that when you start talking about the perceiver and the perceived and the perceived, it all change. Object becomes subject and the subject becomes the object. It's all change until you get to the mind and the witness of the mind.
Yeah, I know I don't know how to make it simpler still. There is awareness. I am aware. I know myself as awareness, but never separated from the content of awareness. If awareness is something like light, what is its connection with the content? That's the whole idea. What is its connection?
Connection is it brings awareness.
Being aware, but it's not a compulsion.
Oh, no, not a compulsion.
So, why do I think it is compulsory?
Oh, that compulsory, like must do it.
No, not in that sense.
Compulsory, like, okay.
Whatever is happening in the world outside, I can get involved, I can stand apart.
Yes.
The same thing about what is happening within also. I can stand apart or I can get involved. It is not a compulsion.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole idea of this psychology.
Choice.
Don't make it a compulsion.
But it could be, I can be here and I can be hearing at you, or I can be here and maybe thinking in my past things and not bring attention.
No, it's not that. No.
saying it's a
Then you are paying attention to something else. You are involved.
Involved.
Yeah. This is an idea of
Complete uninvolvement.
complete uninvolvement
as choice.
as a
It's
choice,
freedom.
as something that is the truth. But then, if I do not like it, or if I want to wait for more experiences to happen, I can make it a choice again. I want to experience, therefore, let me be involved. So then also I will have some amount of control.
So this choice then is to become the is a choice to become the experiencer, or to experience it on a level of body-mind
Yeah,
experience.
exactly.
Is a choice.
Yeah. So this is all that this psychology is sort of aiming at. You are free. This is the basic idea. I am free. How will I know that I am free? So there are various ways of understanding. This is one way of understanding. I am aware mostly of something. I needn't be. But that takes some amount of understanding, practice, then the desire to be free, all that.
And then it sounds like self-restraint, a conscious.
That's a method. The light is not involved. Now, will the light restrain itself, or will it just recognize?
The dust or whatever.
See, this is the idea.
Tough crowd.
It's like an ice cutter, Mataji. It feels like, we're really like icebergs and you're carving out the way so we can.
All
The
right.
objective experience. The distinction between the seer and seeing is a fascinating study, but we need to realize that this problem of subject and object does not belong to philosophers and thinkers alone. It is our problem as well. We are trying to make sense of the objective experience that we get, and that is how we question. What does experience show? Why aren't we satisfied with our experience? Why do we want change all the time? Once our mind raises these questions, then we need clarity, and that is what books like such as Pravrajika Vivekaparana give us, clarity.
Mataji, would you, we're running into that word objective before, and we've had some,
Problem about that.
yeah.
You
So
can
when
call
say-
it externalization, if you please. You can call it otherness. You can call it objectiveness. You can call it objectivity.
It's a sense,
other-
I mean, in English we could, an opposite of that would be a sense of the subject of experience, would be opposite to objective experience.
Yeah, I am the subject.
So we're trying to make sense of the objective experience, not the subjective experience, because there is no subject experience, since it's not
We
objective.
do not recognize ourselves as being separate from the object of experience.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to analyze what exactly is happening with the help of various images. The best image that I can see is the beam of light is full of dust. Is the beam of light responsible for the dust? Is it involved in the dust? Does it have any real relationship with the dust? Is it a compulsion?
No.
All that.
Yeah.
If
okay.
my mind can see it clearly, then none of these is true. Apply it to yourself. See yourself as light, and then forget about.
The dust.
And so in this case, Mataji, the dust is all the emotions, the feelings, the perspectives,
That is the problem.
like the whole iceberg.
There is the rub.
If only it were dust.
That's the content. So, if I want to be involved, I need to recognize that also. That I want to be involved. Then there is no need to cry. I should understand that there is no need to cry. I want it, therefore I am involved. So don't blame anyone and do not cry and take it as I like it, I need it. That's all. Change your language. Change the language, it makes sense. I want a lot of dust to be in the beam of light because maybe it will cast shadows. See, this psychology, as I told you, is very, very
Tough.
tough. It gives you clarity.
Yeah, it's
You want to be involved, go ahead. It's not saying don't,
right.
but don't cry, for God's sake.
But it's okay to laugh.
So this has to do that we wanted to be born.
Exactly. That is where it comes. So, accept that. Then the rest becomes easy. Because I am free. It's my choice. So the moment you tell the mind it has been my choice and I want it, I need it, so then go through it consciously. Why do one can even move on to, why do I need experiences? So that becomes an adventure actually. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't need to be pushed and pulled. You can climb because it's an adventure. So life becomes an adventure. I want to do it. All right, go ahead. There'll be consequences. That's all. Yes.
Someone who has realized what we're talking about, that would they have a natural restraint of all their senses and
Do?
a realized soul, would he have a natural withdrawal, even though he's looking, seeing? Would his state of mind be at rest?
Is it possible to have a state of mind where we are here and yet not here? Why not? That is what they're talking about. Every religion and every
That it's just
tradition.
you always are going to be reserved or something. There's not going to be this going out.
Oh no, I can go out with tremendous gusto and yet not be involved. No problem. It's a question of,
But you're not going to be involved in the same way, it seems.
oh, that's true. You can't be involved in the same way. It's a question of, I want to play a game. All right, what do I
So you can
expect?
do it with tremendous energy, but you're in control of the situation.
Well, that is what they say, that you need to achieve that. Supposing you want to play a game, can you guarantee that nobody will hit you? I want to play a game. Experience is nothing but a game. You can look at it from that point of view. Can I guarantee that in the field where I am playing means with somebody, with some opposition, and the opposition will not hit me?
So let's say someone like Swamiji, he's being
No,
hit all the time.
please. That's a very different thing.
Okay.
Is that like saying, can you play without caring whether you win or lose?
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
But win or lose in when we think of winning or losing is, let us say, at this age, I don't really care about winning or losing. But the consequences of playing the game can be deeper than that. I have used this system, let us say, in order to play. And this system has to pay back.
how?
It has been hurt, maybe. There have been accidents. There have been all kinds of blows. Or I have pushed somebody, that somebody wants to take it out on me. All that is the
So
consequence.
consequences
Yeah.
of action.
Is that karma? Like karma.
Yeah, that can be called karma also. All right, I don't think we can finish it. All right, let's finish this.
Ordinarily, we experience a mixture of the subject and object. We say, I see with the eyes, assuming that this eye can see, disregarding the nervous system, the center of vision in it, and the attention that is flowing from the innermost level, the eye. Despite this confusion, our daily life carries on till we start inquiring or receive shocks through experience. Our ancient thinkers, especially in Advaita Vedanta and Sankhya psychology, are trying to tell us not to get bogged down or fooled by this combination. We must understand the separation and not rush out towards experience. The rushing out is involuntary and is triggered by tendencies, memories, desires, fears, or any kind of stimulus from within or without. This involuntary rushing out of consciousness through its various projectors, the sense organs and the mind, gives us problems. If we wish the problems to stop, we need to control consciousness from rushing out. This is the crux of Hindu psychology and the basis of sadhana practice. Do not rush out. These sense instruments are the outer apertures. We can stop the outer rushing at this level. Then there are centers in the brain where we can stop the outward rushing by training attention. Sitting still is the beginning of this method of control.
All right.